I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the big exciting elements of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has all to do with exactly what the interactions between both Rey and Kylo Ren are going to look like on the big screen by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that both Rey and Kylo Ren directly mirror both Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker from the prequel trilogy era, and that J.J. Abrams will be exploring many different areas of those characters in Episode 9. And on top of all of this, we also know that JJ wants to really create a lot of different challenges that these characters will be going through in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the actual big set leaks that's related to both Rey and Kylo Ren, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that, of course, it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed during the month of December of 2018 involved a sequence where it's explained that both Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley were on set as Kylo Ren and Rey, where Ian McDiarmid was also said to be on set with a red ignited lightsaber blade in front of a tall green screen. It said that one of the scenes involved a moment where Palpatine nearly kills Kylo Ren during their duel, and Force battle where Rey rushes to Kylo Ren's aid and holds him in her arms, where it's said that she exchanges dialogue with Kylo Ren, followed by kissing him on his cheek, before standing up quickly to face Palpatine while Kylo Ren is down on the ground. This is where it said that Palpatine begins to use Force Lightning against Rey's lightsaber, where she is able to block it from hitting Kylo Ren on the ground, where she is able to redirect it back at Sidious during the sequence. It said that the scene is said to be very action-packed with tons of fighting styles from the prequel trilogy era that will be used between Palpatine and Rey. It's explained that the kiss scene took roughly 5 takes to get it done correctly before Rey and Sidious fight one-on-one. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, a lot of fans have always been wondering about Reylo and a Kylo Ren redemption arc and whether or not it really is going to work in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now, one thing I will say is that I'm a little bit in the middle here when it comes to the whole Reylo thing. I'm kind of so-so on it. I'm not quite sure if it really works for Rey to be in a romance with a man who killed his own father and killed many other people before that. You know, given that, yes, Darth Vader and Padme was a thing, but that was prior to when Anakin became Darth Vader. So that's the only thing that I think is going to be a big issue and a big obstacle to go through, is to see whether or not Rey is actually going to be able to accept that. Kind of matches up with what Daisy Ridley said over at Star Wars Celebration, and of course at D23, where she actually said in an interview a part of this movie is an apology ever enough? And that's going to be explored in Episode 9, which could very well hint that there's going to be a moment in this movie where Kylo Ren apologizes for all the things that he did, and maybe Rey is just not going to accept it at first. So, with that being said, the other piece that I do want to go over is the kiss sequence. Now, this is actually said to be a sequence where Rey kisses Kylo Ren on the cheek, not on the lips, so it seems like they're staying away from the lips for some odd reason. I don't know why. But if you look at a lot of the Disney Star Wars films, you know, it seems like that they're trying to slowly progress to the concept of Reylo and that romance between these two characters. So, with that being said, when we look at the characters of Rey, Kylo, and Palpatine, yes, they are the 3 main characters of this story, and yes, they are going to all go through different challenges that's going to bring them over to the unknown regions, where they all finally meet at one point in time. Now, the whole entire Kylo Ren redemption arc, let's get to that. Now, a lot of people are talking about Kylo Ren's redemption. There's a lot of hints, like I said, that have actually been talked about before in the past, that we have actually talked about, such as Kylo Ren witnessing the vision of Han Solo and hugging him and closing his eyes, only to find that he's vanished, and that's exactly what changes Kylo Ren's emotions, if you will, or changes his mind of what he's doing at a certain point in time in the movie. It may be a full-on redemption, or maybe just a partial redemption for all we know, but one thing is for certain is that something is going on between both Rey and Kylo Ren in Episode 9. Even J.J. Abrams said something very funny at Star Wars Celebration and over at D23 when being asked about, you know, Reylo and the romance between the two. He always stated that, you know, there is something more to the story there than what the fans are going to expect, and that a lot of fans who are really curious about that side of Star Wars are going to be very satisfied. So I would only assume that that is exactly where it's going, since there is a kiss sequence. You know, there is a lot of these sequences where they're going to form an alliance against Palpatine. You can see where it's going, but is it going to be a happy ending in the very end of Episode 9, right? That's a big thing here. Is Kylo Ren going to die? Are they going to have a little temporary romance? Or are they going to live on happily ever after? That's the biggest question of all, right? So, the last piece I will say is that this is all said to take place on board of Palpatine's new Star Destroyer, or, you know, inside of his new throne room, wherever it's located. And I think that it somewhat does, in fact, mirror that of Return of the Jedi, without a doubt. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.